Hello viewers, we are back in the bug out bunker kitchen, still without any decoration on the wall. Haven't got around to that, haven't even put up this pin board that we bought because I simply can't be bothered. But we do now have extra sound deadening by popular request, and you will see that later on in this short video. Today, we are still in the 1970s, and the great question that we are addressing on this occasion is cheese versus cheese. So, in the 1970s, there were only three types of cheese available as far as I know. One of them was cheddar, that's this one here. The other one was red Leicester. The third one, which we're not featuring, was pre-grated Parmesan in a small blue pot that smelled of sick. And it wasn't until much later in life, when I ate a real piece of Parmesan that you broke away from a block that had been cut from a true wheel, that I realised Parmesan didn't taste like a baby had vomited on your food. But anyway, we'll stick with the ones we had. These are cheese. They are not shade grown, they're not lime caught, they're not oak aged, they're not free trade, they are just cheese. Cheddar, red Leicester. Which is best? Which is best in a sandwich? Well, we are going to make cheese and Branston pickle sandwiches using brown bread. And you will remember from the earlier sandwich videos that brown bread was the preserve of exotic, travelled, sophisticated and rather left-wing people. And my mum, who actually liked brown bread, she specifically liked Hovis, which is what this is. My mother also briefly had a 2CV. Can you imagine that? In 70s Britain, in the north. She sold it quite soon afterwards and got a Vauxhall. So, brown bread. We are going to make a grated cheddar and Branston pickle sandwich and a grated red Leicester and Branston pickle sandwich, and we will test them out on Tom the cameraman as usual, and possibly also Lucy. No, Lucy doesn't like cheese. We're not going to test them out on Lucy. She doesn't like cheese. So you'd have starved in the 70s. The other thing we're going to introduce today is something that I discovered was actually created in 1901, although I don't think we actually got it in Britain, or I don't remember seeing it much before the early 90s, if that. It is Lurpak spreadable butter. Making a grated cheese and pickle sandwich requires the use of a cheese grater, and you will know, if you are a regular viewer of my various cooking efforts, that the grater of choice is France's Mouli grater. Other graters are available, other rotary graters are available, and in fact this is one of those, because this isn't a Mouli grater. This is not my regular one, this is the Bug Out Bunker one. This is actually made by these people, Kitchencraft. But the principle is exactly the same. You have a rotating drum. We're going to use this one. This does the fine grate. It also comes with the coarse grate drum. You can tell that the holes are bigger. And then the third one, this one. Nobody knows what this is for. You now see the essential equipment. The Mouli grater, the drum goes in there, like so. Blob of cheese goes in there. Cheese comes out. First, we take the two pieces of bread that will form the bottoms of the sandwiches. We don't put Lurpak on the top side of the sandwich because that's extravagant, and we don't know how long we're going to be stuck down here. Lurpak, brand new packet. Look at that. Stand by. Spread it on the bread. Plenty of it, as they said in Battle of Britain. Flood the cowling. Okay, that's done. Now, cheese. Take a suitable knife. Do I mean that one? Or do I mean, no, I don't mean that one. That's the, actually I think I was right first time. Okay, I've had a brilliant idea about the knife block actually. I'm sure I'm not alone in thinking that they are essentially unhygienic because germs, bits of cheese, bits of spam can inadvertently end up down in there, and then they're in there forever. Knives go in drawers, knife blocks go in the bin. Good. Now, you have to cut your piece of cheese. Let's put that one to one side for the moment. Do cheddar first. You have to cut your piece of cheese in accordance with your grater. Once you've used a Moully grater a few times, you just know this instinctively, but let's imagine this is the first time. Cheese. You want, as I've said before, a knob of cheese about the size of a lump of butter. Put the cheese in the grater, like so. That's a beautiful fit, and grate it evenly. Look at that, it's just such a tremendous device. It doesn't just grate the cheese very well, but it also leaves a lot of air in the cheese so that it's sort of slightly fluffy. Tons and tons and tons of cheese. Mousetrap, straightforward, bog standard, itchy cheddar cheese. There you go. In the bottom of the cheese grater, some cheese will survive, especially there because the blob I cut was too big. Spin your finger around in the drum. Now, this is an experiment. It has to be controlled. It cannot be allowed to be contaminated. So I'm going to have to say we will pause there for a moment. And Lucy, would you mind going and washing the cheese grater for me? The sink's just out there. Sorry. Actually, while Lucy's doing that, we will enjoy this offcut of cheese. Would you like an offcut of cheese, Tom?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Sharp. One or two people have complained in the other videos that I touch things with my fingers, but look, my fingers are very clean. I have washed them. I've even used the Sani wipe stuff on. We have that with us all the time. It's always in my bag because when we do things like our Grand Tour specials, we carry it with us to clean our hands before we eat our army ration food. Let's chop up Red Leicester because I know that was too much cheese. Let's actually be a bit like a woodworker. Take the correct amount of cheese. There'll be a short pause now whilst we wait for the return of the Moully grater that isn't one. Thanks very much. It's like being Bruce Forsyth, having a glamorous assistant who just does all the difficult bits. Okay, Red Leicester, whatever Red Leicester is. It's from Leicester, I'm guessing, and it is red. It really ought to be called Orange Leicester. But anyway, it comes out, look, very, very different coloured cheese. It almost looks like grated carrot. And it is a long time since I've eaten any Red Leicester. I would say it's probably 2 decades, so I can't really remember what it tastes like. Would you like the bonus piece of cheese?
Oh, thank you.
I get a bonus piece of cheese as well. Good. Right. Now, Branston pickle. I'm sure you will remember that the Bug Out Bunker kitchen has Branston pickle. Jeez, these shelves are hopeless. We have Branston pickle and we have Imposter Branston pickle. Small chunk. We do not want small chunks. Small chunks did not sustain this great nation during those dark and difficult times, the 1970s. We only had original, but of course it wasn't called original then because there was no alternative, in the same way that in the 1920s the First World War wasn't referred to as World War I because we hadn't had the other one yet. I've seen that mistake made in a film. The knife. Okay, let's do it properly because that one's still a bit cheesy. Knife or spoon? What's the view on that?
Knife.
I agree.
I say spoon.
But you weren't born in the 70s. And you're posh. I bet you put spoon.
Hang on. Also, the Branstons should go on the other bit of bread, and then he married them together.
Is that right? That's a good thought. I'll give you that though. I think you might be right. It stops the cheese becoming compressed too much by the application of the Branston pickle. Put the Branston on the other piece of bread. Here we go. So, red Leicester sandwich, ready, invert. Can you see this? My pickly piece of bread. Do it swiftly, blam, it's on. Cheddar, can you see? Piece of bread with the Branston pickle on, line it up, and it's on. Tom Witter, director and cameraman, would you like your sandwiches cut diagonally or rectangularly?
Rectangularly, please.
Rectangularly, good man. Here we go. Who's been using the knives in my kitchen? Blunt as a bastard. Cheddar or red Leicester, sir?
I'll go red Leicester first, please.
You've still got the headphones on, be aware of that. There you'll see behind Tom the mattress that is used for sound deadening when filming in the bunker. We've moved it into the bunker kitchen. Does make a huge difference. That's Lucy. Is that it? Oh,
It reminds me more of the 1970s, I think,
then.
than I'm anticipating the cheddar, because I'm very used to cheddar.
Okay,
I haven't had one of these for years, so.
thank you. Would you like to simply help yourself to a cheddar sandwich from the Warren Buffet? You should have had a palate cleanser, really. It's better. I'm going to wager it's better.
Cheddar beats it.
Yep.
For me. See what you think.
Okay. Shall I eat the same? Sorry. Should I eat the same sandwich that you were eating, or should I eat the other half? We are going to continue and eat these for real, aren't we? We don't waste things down here. We can't afford to. So those are now your sandwiches, and I'm going to go cheddar first. Just an aside, one or two people did say to me, if you make a cheese and Branston sandwich, you should put a piece of lettuce in the sandwich as well, to which I say, bollocks. Agreed? Agreed. If you're mine and Tom's sort of age, and you're feeling nostalgic for that time, you could go and hire a rather shabby, smoke-belching diesel bus and go on a sort of faux school trip to something like the Victoria and Albert or the Royal Air Force Museum. Or you could simply make that sandwich, put one bite of it in your mouth, and you are there, because you would have eaten that before the bus even set off. I am going to clear my palate. I'll just have a small piece of this cheese to do that. I prefer cheddar as well, but maybe as the result of absence or some deep inner yearning that I hadn't identified before, red Leicester is more evocative. I hope that's been useful. Join us again next time when we make sarnies of the 70s.